The Coach and the Seed. This is a story that I wrote based on a very important piece of wisdom from the Talmud that says, every blade of grass has an angel that bends over it and whispers, grow, grow. There once was a beautiful meadow. The meadow was made up of thousands of blades of grass that all together created a green blanket. And each year the meadow became more and more beautiful. The sun shone upon it. The rain bathed it and let it drink her delicious drops of water. And the wind, with its twisting breeze, dried it, shaking off the extra drops of water the grass didn't need. And each year, new blades of grass broke through their seed shells and popped their heads up through the ground, stretching higher and higher. The meadow was very beautiful. Now, these new blades of grass did have some help. Each one had a personal coach, a gentle whisper of a voice that leaned over them and encouraged them, grow, grow, grow. And each blade of grass was happy to do just that, listening to their coach's advice. Now, stretch your neck, not too fast, don't want to pull a muscle. Now reach your head high, look up, always look up to see where you're going. Can you feel the sun's warm rays? Are you thirsty from all this growing? Take a drink from the rain's drops of water. Don't worry, the wind will dry your back. Everything seemed to be working out beautifully in this meadow. Well, almost everything. Deep in the grass of the meadow, just underneath the ground, there was a seed who didn't grow. She couldn't, or maybe she wouldn't. Or shouldn't, she thought for herself. I don't care if everyone around me is doing it. I'm staying right here in my seed. I busy myself with what seeds do. I sing songs to myself. I make up jokes that I think are going to make other people laugh. Oh, I think of lots of great activities. I am content. Well, all the while, the seed's coach leaned over her and whispered lovingly, calmly, gently, grow, grow, grow. The coach couldn't understand. Why isn't the seed popping its head through the shell and starting to grow? The coach scratched its head, for it had never encountered this kind of problem before. So it asked its coach friends for advice, and they all suggested the same thing. Be patient and persistent, and whisper lovingly, gently, calmly, grow, grow, grow. So that's just what the coach did. But the seed didn't hear it, or maybe she wouldn't hear it. The seed continued to busy herself with what seeds do in their shells. And every day, with patience and persistence, the coach would whisper lovingly, gently, calmly, grow, grow, grow. Well, after a while, the seed noticed that her seed friends were starting to do different kinds of things than she was doing in her shell. Instead of singing songs to themselves in their shells, they were stretching and swaying and singing in the wind. They were singing songs together in beautiful harmonies. The activities she was doing in her seeds were much less exciting than these new activities her friends had learned. She started to feel like she was maybe missing out on something big. Should she grow outside of her seed? She considered this, and then she said to herself, well, what if the sun gets too hot and dries me out? Or the drops of rain, well, what if I can't swim? And that wind, oh my gosh, it could be freezing out there. No. It's safe and warm and dry in my seed. I'm staying put. And each day, her coach with patience and persistence, would whisper lovingly, gently, and calmly. Say it with me. Grow, grow, grow. But the seed couldn't hear it. The seed, after some time, saw her friends now reaching into the sky high, laughing together when the birds flew overhead, sharing their jokes with each other, blowing in the wind this way and that way in a magnificent dance. She yearned to be with them, to laugh, to joke, to dance, but that would mean she'd have to come out of her shell. Take a risk in the sun and wind and rain. What should I do? She thought to herself. All of a sudden, she heard something or someone whispering something to her. She strained to hear, for it was very soft. But it sounded, yes, it sounded like someone was whispering. Say it with me. Grow, grow, grow. No, that couldn't be. She must be hearing things. And as she strained to hear, she could swear that she'd heard this whisper before. But again, she said to herself, I must be hearing things. Say with me. Grow, grow, grow. She tried to put it out of her mind, but now that she heard this whisper, she couldn't stop thinking that this idea of growing, well, no, she busied herself with her activities, but grow, grow, grow. What if I can't dance like the others? Grow, grow, grow. But what if nobody laughs at my jokes as the birds fly overhead? Grow, grow, grow. But what if I can't learn the songs or the harmonies everybody's singing, or stretches high, or grow, grow, grow. The whisper wasn't leaving. It was so persistent. And the seed knew it. She now heard it loud and clear. Carefully, slowly, she began to stretch her neck, and she reached up and broke through the shell. Now stretch your neck, not too fast. Don't want to pull a muscle. Now reach your head high. Look up, always look up and see where you are going. Can you feel the sun's warm rays? Are you thirsty from all that growing? Take a drink of water from the raindrops of water. Don't worry, the wind will dry your back. She kept her head held high, opened her eyes, and looked to the sky. And, the sun's warm rays. Wow, they warmed her face. And just then, little drops of rain came down and quenched her thirst. But now she was wet, while the wind, with its twisting breeze, dried her as she shook off the extra raindrops of water she didn't need. Her friends saw her, and they smiled knowingly. For every blade of grass will stretch up high when they're ready. And their friend was finally ready now. And the coach, who all along patiently and persistingly, lovingly, gently, and calmly whispered, grow, grow, grow. Well, that coach smiled a great big smile, for the coach was happy that the seed took that risk and stretched herself outside of her own shell. And as for the seed, well, she reached higher and higher, and just for a second, she looked down at her little shell seed below, so far below, and she knew in her heart that she didn't want to go back. It was only up from here.